I feel like it's a mixture of both. I think the biggest part that the DAs or the prosecutors probably have with like these artists is how much influence that they
Mm-hmm.
actually have. And what they I feel like a part of what they kind of need to understand is like the influence is bigger than whatever district or state that they're in.
Yeah.
Like they're influential all around, right? And the problem lies in the fact that they want to use lyrics,
Damn.
to
How you feel about
as
that?
evidence.
How you feel about
I think using lyrics as evidence is it's something that I don't think it should be done because, and there are two reasons why. You could have an artist that probably makes up stories, right? And they're just rapping and making up stories, but the problem lies when it's an actor, right? If I see Morgan Freeman, actually, let's use Big Meech or Lil Meech,
that?
as an example. If I watch BMF and I'm seeing Lil Meech, right,
Mm-hmm.
and he's selling coke and he's doing all this, even though his pops, was accused or for having criminal activity,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, like I'm not going to go arrest Lil Meech, and then try to use evidence of things in BMF,
Yeah.
to convict them, and the same way should go as an artist, but it's harder for artists to separate, persona from real life because they're not in movies,
Mm-hmm.
but the DAs need to be taking these videos that these artists are shooting that are really mini movies,
Yeah.
like they're getting real directors, like they're shooting like real movies for these, and they shouldn't cross that line, and taking evidence from lyrics and putting it into like criminal prosecutions. So as far as like with the artists I manage, like they don't really talk about things like that per
Okay.
se,
Okay.
but with the artists that I do legal for, you know, I would say the biggest thing that we ever really endure was guns,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big lesson that I think the whole industry kind of learned was, don't put guns in videos.
Yeah.
Don't use real guns in videos,
Yeah.
use prop guns, use fake guns, but don't use real guns in videos, So everybody that was a big lesson that everybody learned. But now with the lyrics, I think it's too trying. It's too trying because you can't dissect the real from the made
Mm-hmm.
up, and it's unfair for you to just take every single lyric because somebody might say something just for rhyming purposes.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I bagged them up and dumped them, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't mean like I actually bagged up somebody and dumped them,
Yeah.
like, so I think using lyrics is a stretch, man. It's a stretch, like it's a super stretch because they would never do the same to actors,
Nah.
and regardless of what kind of lifestyle the actor lives outside of, their movie persona,
Mm-hmm.
they they would never hold actors to the same standard, and that is what rap is. Rap is an art, is a form of expression. When people are doing these music videos, it's an act. They're putting up a persona and they're selling it, for people to digest. It's the same way Denzel goes in the movie and he could be a gangster, he could be a teacher, he could be whatever. He's putting on an act and he's putting it out there and he's selling that persona. So I don't think they should put that
Nah.
while they're already in jail.
Yeah. Let's just say that. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I'm trying to come up with as much defenses as I can, for, the charges that they have on the table,
Yeah.
which is what any reasonable lawyer will be doing, It's what's going to be the best defense, If they're saying that we are a gang, how do we counter and show that we're not a gang? Do we
Mm-hmm.
show how many record sales that we're having? Do we show how many lives that, my clients have changed?
Yeah.
Do we show the positive community impact that they've had?
Mm-hmm.
How do we counter this allegation of us being a gang?
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me just because I dress a certain type of way or I sing a certain type of song and I have influence on a mass of people, that means that I'm forming a gang.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the literal definition of gang is a group of three or more people, you know, but you're not like there are people that have trade houses, right? Like it's like 10 people that live in a house together, they're trading together.
Yeah.
Like they might be making money, like they all buying nice cars, like maybe they're sitting there doing fucking coke all day,
Yeah.
and doing whatever, or having domestic violence or whatever it is they're doing. But when something happens, you're gonna take them as an individual. You're not gonna say just because you guys are in a trade house together and you guys live together and you guys do every fucking thing together, we're gonna put a fucking RICO on you, and make you a gang. You're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But it's only rappers that get thrown in that situation, you know, and every crime that's out there is alleged. We should never forget our constitutional right, of innocent until proven guilty. So unless you can prove, these men guilty, like grant their bonds.